Ciao everybody, my name is Joey. Welcome to my channel. I am doing my second project with the collaboration box that I do with the founder and curator at Didi Beads. We do a collab, not every month, but we like to work together and kind of, two designers coming together. And this time we had a third designer, a bead artist, joined us. We commissioned her to make this beautiful bead for our box, and this was my first project, and I am so crazy about this. I'm looking at this as art, and even when I'm not wearing it, I've had it laying right here on my work table so that I can just look at it. I just love it so much. So if you missed, this was the reveal of the entire contents of the box, and I did this bracelet in the first video, and I'll link that in the description box below. And then what I have over here are the things that I think are going to go in today's bracelet project. And so my friend Stella, she knows me a little bit now. We've worked together for over a year, and she knows that I love lamp work beads. So she found these gorgeous lintel coin-shaped beads with this kind of bumpy grid on them in this gorgeous purple. You can kind of see the white core a little bit. No two beads are alike. They are handmade, so you can kind of see the white core in these a little bit. And I just think these are stunning, and they're so bold, and that's what I want to do with them, is create I was going to put them on my wrist. I'm a little bit excited, but I want to create a really bold beaded chain sort of with these links, and my intention is to do something artistic, since this is an artistic box, on every single bead, something totally different. I am doing them two-sided, so I just did a couple of samples here and I'm just winging it. So I encourage you guys to get out your wire and play along with me, especially if you think you're not good at wire working, because you can't get this wrong. There's no wrong or right, and however they turn out is how they turn out. And I'm going to link them all together with these twisted stainless steel jump rings when I get them all done. So it's going to be like a beaded chain on steroids because of these chunky, beautiful, bold lamp work beads. And I think as a bracelet, I'll be able to see them and enjoy them, but I think it's going to be stunning. I'm also going to put a beaded, an extender chain on it, and I'm going to use some of the things here to make a really cool like dangle for the final drop. So we have these gorgeous metal flowers in our box, and I have taken a little bit of gel Loctite super glue and a flat back crystal and glued it in the middle of this side because they were lovely and they had this white center and they're really colorful and I really love them. But I felt like this was almost a little bit too playful, maybe even juvenile, for the elegance of these lamp work beads. And so, but I love these beads. These are so amazing, these flowers. They're metal, they're very weighty. The colors are really saturated and just really like rich, deep colors. So I have another one of these flat back crystals, and while we work on this, I'm just gonna reach behind me and get my gel Loctite super glue. And while we work on this, this can be drying. So this is so simple. I'm going to get a tiny little bead of this super glue flowing. I love the gel because it doesn't run all over your fingers. And you don't need much, like just a tiny little drop. Can you even see that drop? It's really small. And then I use my pliers, kind of like tweezers, but even your knotting tweezers would work here. And I'm just going to set this crystal. So I'm doing everything on this piece two-sided. I just really wanted a little bit of sparkle, and I happen to have these flat back crystals in the exact same color. They like match the lamp work beads perfectly. When you're doing any kind of gluing, it's good to have a little toothpick or a scrap of wire on the side of your work table just to clean up, especially on, this dries clear, but I don't want to see any mess oozing out from my crystal, and I want to make sure it's flat. Okay, I am going to set that in my dish and let it dry, and I'll show you, like, I just had some ideas for different things to do on these lampwork lentil beads. And what I'm working with as far as my wire is my soft flex wire. It is not the German style wire. It's not that half hard wire. So it's very flexible craft wire, but it's still strong and it has an anti-tarnish coating. So I have 24 gauge here, which is what I have done the wrapping on. I have 22 gauge in case I want that, and I have 20 gauge, which is my core wire that I've been doing either my wrapped loops or my simple loops on. And I love that I can have the same color and the same wire in all those different gauges for anything really, but for a project like this, it's fantastic. And so I am going to put I have a pretty long piece of wire here, a 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to come down here like almost to the middle, not quite to the middle. And why I have such a long piece is that I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop on the top and bottom of this lentil bead, and then I want this extra to do my embellishment. So these are simple loops, but I decided to do one that's a wire wrapped loop, maybe a second one, because I am not going to need to open any of these loops again. The whole thing is going to get connected by those fancy jump rings. So I'm going to just get a normal wire wrapped loop in here and then not snip away my excess. So one thing that I've learned when I'm doing wire embellishment is if I'm going to do a wrapped loop or even a simple loop, let me take one that's not decorated, a little bit of extra space here is a good thing. So, or even a few extra wraps, because when you embellish with your wire and then you have to come to the other end and, you know, wrap it off, you know, tie it down, secure it down, a little bit of space there is a good thing so that you can have space to finish up and wrap. I just love this. I'm going to do another one of these. I'll do another one of these too, because I do love what I did there to show you. But on this one, I'm just going to take my lentil bead and feed it on my wire wrapped loop and do a wire wrapped loop on this end. My wire's hitting the camera lens. Sorry guys, but I did want to leave myself a little extra to work with here. So I'm going to do another wire wrapped loop on this end. And another reason I like this design is that these are very bold, rather large beads, and what I'm doing here is going to secure them like that. So when they're all connected into a bracelet, they, will have a little bit of stability and almost be chain-like, albeit a gigantic chain, but I'm kind of liking securing them in a position and not having them, just constantly rotating. So when I do this, when I do what I'm doing here, I like to get my wires like that. It's not wrong to, do it in another way, but I'm just going to tuck this one. I just saw that it was like out a little bit more than I want. So what I just do that because I want to embellish both sides if I can. And so I have like one wire coming from behind to the right, one wire coming from behind to the left, and that's going to allow me to design something opposite. So I think I'm going to, on this one, let me just look at this for a minute. And also, I forgot to mention, if you are doing this along with me, go slowly along with me and use the warmth of your fingers to warm the wire, and keep it nice and smooth, because when you're asking it to do a little curve or something, it's going to perform a lot better for you if it's warm. Okay, so I'm going to use my thumb and forefinger and come across the bead. I'm holding it really secure. I'm going to come across the bead and just get back up here to my other loop that I made, just like that. And then I'm going to come on this side and do the same thing. I'm going to come across the bead like that and come around I unwrapped this side and I'm going to straighten it and go again because I had a little bend that I wasn't happy with. So like I said, this is artisan. There's no right or wrong. There's no rule. You can't get it wrong. It's what, you know, if you get the shape or the curves that you like, then you did a good job. Then you did it right. That's the right and wrong of this. So I really love this because I didn't like do a lot of wraps. I had one wrap and I wasn't happy with the way it was looking here. So I'm happy with this side and I'm going to go again. I'm going to come down the side, thumb and forefinger, so I can hold it in place a little bit. And I'm going to come down the side of the bead. Let me look at this side. Yep. Come down the side of the bead like that and come around and just get a wrap in there, just one wrap. When I edit, I'll cut out some of the fussing that I do when I'm playing with wire because I love to just sit and play with this, and it would drive you crazy to watch me do all of these to the extent that I want to play with them, because I'll like check my loops and go side to side to see if I like it, and I do. I'm going to trim this wire here at around the same length as the one on the other side, just around the same length, and then I'm going to do a little spiral right here on each side. So I'm just going to get it nice and tight in the middle and just push this toward my finger. Just bring it around. I keep a couple of different nylon jaw pliers on my work table. These aren't so chewed up, but actually my chewed up ones work really well for certain things, so I keep a couple of them. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to spiral this, and I'm thinking I'm going to bend it around to the back, but when I'm doing this kind of wire embellishment, I just look for the natural path of the wire, the natural bend that's going to secure it, you know, that kind of thing. It's very free form. I love that there is no right or wrong, and I love that I'm not going to like break a rule or you know, I'm not going to do anything wrong, because whatever I do is what I do. So I'm going to go ahead now and bring this around to this side like I did on the other one, and just bend it right in front of my bead. So my bead has an embellishment on both sides. I don't know why I decided to do that on this bracelet, but I did. And I'm going to get underneath this and just see if I can direction it down a little bit, because I love the look of wire laying across a bead or a pearl. I love that look, but on a bracelet you want to be careful that your wire embellishment is not going to grab onto clothing and things like that. And sometimes I'll put like a lightning bolt in, but this is a little bit off the bead, and I love the soft curve that I got on this one. And like, look when these are connected, like no two are alike. I think it's gorgeous. It's just really gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more of each of those so that I can show you exactly what I did. And so let me get a piece of my 24 gauge wire. And the cool thing about these lamp work beads too is they have really large holes. So I can put my 20 gauge wire through and make my simple loops, and then come back and put my finer gauge wire right through the middle. And I don't measure. I'm going to be kind of generous with this. I'll do something similar. I'm not even going to try to do the same thing, and that'd be my advice for you too, is don't even try to do the same thing that you did if you're doing this along with me. Do something different on each bead. Have fun with it, you know. So I'm going to poke this wire right through the hole. This one you can really see the white core of the lamp work. These beads are just amazing. Stella actually sent me a message and said that she got a bead to add into our collaboration that was a surprise for me, something she knew that I would love, and this was it, and she was 100% right. I do love it. Okay, so to start off with, I don't have a lot of strength in my hands, but I am going to try to hold my core wire, my fine gauge wire, and my bead with my thumb and forefinger and just get one wrap around the top of each loop, just so that I can start embellishing and it's like in place a little bit. It's really fine wire, but it can be done. And same thing even with the fine gauge wire. Get it nice and warm, make sure it's smooth and straight. It will really help your work, and it also gives you a time to think and kind of study the natural path. Like if the wire's coming around here, I never say what I mean by that, but if the wire's coming around here, look for where the wire would like naturally go next. So when I say natural path of the wire, that's what I mean. So I'm going to go in this direction, and I was kind of using the little grid on the lampwork beads to give me, you know, a place to rest my wire. Pinch it with my finger, and I'm just like where the wire would naturally go, and I'm holding thumb and forefinger, so I know it's covering up the bead. But this is also not laid in stone. Like after you've done this, you can still make adjustments, and you can unwrap things like you saw me do. Even if you've put like a little kink, you can unwrap it and use your nylon jaw pliers to go again if you're not happy with the way something is landing. Okay, I love it. I absolutely love that one. And so I'm almost thinking to leave this one at the diagonal like that, but I only have 2 on the back side, so let me see what I can do about that. Just play for a second. Okay, I love this one too, and I think like together they make such a statement with each bead having its own design, its own personality, and each bead really organic, like not, I mean, I'm doing a neat job, and I'm tucking my wire and making sure that I can't see the ends or feel the ends, but you know, I'm not like worrying about perfection on these. I am getting all of my loops to go perpendicular to my mat, so look at that. It's so cool. I just love them. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do another one with some curly cues. So for that one, I'm going to take a piece of 20 gauge wire and put it through the bead and put some simple loops on it. And I do also want to make sure I became a little bit misaligned, which it happens when you have a, you know, funky shaped bead, but just like line up those loops. And so like I say, I mean, maybe it's driving some of you crazy to watch me do a little wire art, because I'm really not a wire artist, but I've just learned like to go slowly and be patient with it and back things down if I don't care for it. So I'm going to get a little bit more of my 24 gauge wire, and a pretty generous amount, just eyeballing it. And for the loop embellishment, I did double, so I'm going to do 2 strands, two lengths. I work with strands so much, wire is not in strands. Okay, so I have 2 lengths that are pretty close to the same size, and again, start with really smooth, nice warm wire. I've got to get it through the bead. I did that on all of these because of the nice large holes on the lampwork beads. So, and I can fit both strands right through here. just like I did with the single strand. I'm just going to push it through and get it to the middle, pretty much the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, just do my best to hold on to it while I get a wrap around my thicker wire. Same thing on this end as well. Just try to hold on to it and just to get it started. Doesn't matter which end you start on. And I'm going to fuss with these loops a little bit even more after I'm done. But for the double one, I just hold the two strands together and I'm going to come to the side that it's headed to. So that's the natural path of the wire, the side of the bead that the wire is, headed, is wrapping towards. And I'm just going to start to make a little curve. And again, go slowly so you don't put a kink in your wire. And don't forget to put your thumb over your wire to hold it in place, like especially on a thing like this. It helps you. There's my first little loop. My thumb over it again and just curve it around. And I think I'm going to do I have two really small ones. I think I'm going to go for kind of a swooping larger one. I do want to keep my wires pretty much lined up the way that I have, and I see that they have traded places, so I'm going to get them, there we go, get them back together. Oh, I love that. That looks awesome. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to get it up here and wrap it around the loop on the opposite end of my bead. Just like that. Both wires. If you don't feel you're strong enough, like at this point, to wrap, thumb and forefinger, and your pliers give you leverage when you're working with wire. Okay, and I have so much left that one of the things that I do sometimes is let it hang out until I get the other side done. I'm going to just smooth everything out, give it a tug here. But before I cut this away, just might be able to do something else really creative when I have that much wire left over. So I'm going to come to this side and basically do the same thing. Just get some little smooth little loops in here, kind of going with the, bring this around more out of my way. And I'm going to thumb and forefinger and just the same thing. Just keep it warm and smooth and just get some little loops. I'll try to do the opposite. So I have on this side a really large loop, and then, whoops, sorry guys. On this side I have a really large loop, and then I'm going into two littler ones. So I'll start with the smaller ones on this side and just do the same thing. Okay, I'll back up at the top, and I'm going to just get it wrapped. And I find that even the wraps around the top of my loops here look good. They're part of the embellishment on the bead. Trim that off, and I'm going to try something. I'm going to try making a coil, like a spring. Let me get my bail making plier with the tiniest little tip here, and I'm going to try making a really tight coil. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I love it. I wonder if that's going to get, since this is a bracelet, I do want to be careful about things poking out. You know, I don't want anything to get caught on clothing. So I'm going to maybe flatten this little coil a little bit and see. Nice and smooth, and I love it. It's really different. Okay, I'm going to come to this side and do the same thing. I'm going to trim away completely this bottom wire and tuck that one. I really like my coil, but I want to make sure it's really flat, that everything's really flat and snuggled to my bead. Okay, I love it. It's so gorgeous. Let me put some of these tools away. Look at this little collection of beads. Isn't it cool? Okay, let me come up with something for the last one, and we'll connect them into a bracelet. Okay, I decided that I started to create another embellishment, and I thought I really like the odd number of these beads, and then I measured, and with my jump rings connecting everything, that's going to be over 6 inches. So by the time I do my extender chain, 5 was the sweet spot. So I'm taking that 22 gauge wire that I cut off the spool, and I'm going to create a little dangle here. I'll show you the pattern. Let me just get it strung. I'm using 8/0 gold seed beads in between, and I'm either going to do 8 or 10 of these bicone crystals. I'll see the length, see what size I get with 8. I think I'm going to need 10. So still, this is going to be the center of my circle. So just fiddle with it and pull these wires together and just create a nice circle. Okay, and once I've done that, I'm going to bring, I know my fingers are in the way, but I'm bringing this long wire over, and I'm going to direct this wire straight up. So I can create a simple loop or a wrapped loop or whatever I want there. And then I'm going to get this wire to where there was no seed bead in my pattern. And I want it to be pretty straight, so I'm going to just get it going where I need it to be. Pull it out a little bit so I can get in here and straighten it. Okay, so I'm going to take my flower and feed it on that wire, and then I'm going to come right around where I left the seed bead out of my pattern. And this is why I went down to the 22 gauge wire. You can actually do this with 20 gauge, but I went down to the 22 gauge because I knew that I was going to be pulling it around like this, and try to do it without kinking, but get it tight. And so from here, if you want to make a charm out of this, you can simply snip away one side and wrap the other side. But if you want it to be a connector, then you can make a loop on both sides. And I definitely want mine to be a charm. It's going to be the final drop on my extender chain. So I'm going to just fiddle with this a little bit. You know I have to. I want my circle to be perfect, and I want all this to be straight. So I'm just going to take my pliers and my nylon jaw pliers and just straighten everything out. Okay, I just love this. It's like a little interactive charm. And I am going to do a wire wrapped loop on the top of this one because I'm going to open the last jump ring so I can attach it with that jump ring. I'm going to go ahead and close this loop. Look at that. It's so gorgeous. And it's just a little bit smaller in scale than my lentil beads. I did kind of want one of these little birds in here. And so I don't know if I'm going to make him part of my extender chain. Just turn him into a little component. I'm going to go ahead and turn him into a little component, and then I'll see if I like him on my extender chain. End and work my way down, just connecting these in this order with a jump ring in between each bead and my final little embellishment at the end. I always link this assortment of lobster claw clasps in my current favorite findings section because they're really high quality and it's an assortment, so you can find something for each project, whatever project you're working on. But there's a lot of them in the assortment that have this swivel feature, and I really love that, especially for a really chunky, heavy bracelet. And it makes putting your bracelet on a lot easier because no matter which way you pick it up, it cooperates with you for connecting. And these jump rings are twisted stainless steel. They are so heavy duty, and I love them for this piece. I think they'll be really great for this piece and keep it nice and safe. Okay, I'm going to add my little bird in right here, and he's going to be sort of part of the extender chain. He's going to add a little bit of length, which I didn't really need, but I think it will be okay. I'm going to try it because I think he's so cute. Okay, you guys, this is all connected. I have one bead left over, and this would make a fabulous pendant. I love it. It will not go to waste. And I have to say, this box was so full. I have so much left over. Stella was so generous. I have all these flowers left over. I love these little check glass matte lavender rondelles. They're Druck rondelles, and I have like almost all of them left over. I have almost all the crystals left over. It's such a huge box. It's such a good value on top of the artisan bead, but I have so much left over. I've done 2 fabulous pieces, and there's a lot more to be done, but this is absolutely the most stunning bracelet. This is one of the most stunning bracelets I've ever done. I love it. It's very chunky. It's definitely not petite jewelry. It is bold and artisan and absolutely adorable. It would be crazy to layer these together, but I just might do that. Let me just put it on. If you make this style of a bracelet with an extender chain, if you put this on your arm so that your extender chain is laying across your wrist, and then with the swivel of the lobster claw clasp, it's very easy to take this bracelet on and off. And you know, you guys, if you make something like this, don't think of this as, you know, you're going to wear this for gardening, you know, or cleaning the house. This is like, I'll probably wear this to my bead society meeting this week, or you know, if you get invited to go for coffee with a friend, you know, it's a statement piece, it's a conversation piece, and it's, you know, not for when you're working. So as everybody knows, you cannot clasp a bracelet when the camera's rolling. This is not this hard. It's really not. Okay, I got it. Look at this bracelet. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love that no two of my lentil shaped lampwork beads are the same, and you can play with them. And oh my, I love my little sort of interactive charm because my flower spins in the middle of the crystal frame that I made for it, and everything is two-sided. I put the flat back crystal on both sides. These little birds are the same on both sides, and every one of my lentil beads is decorated with wire on both sides. I could not love this anymore. I think it's absolutely stunning. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Even though I am not a professional wire artist, I really hope you picked up a little trick from me or a tip, and that you'll give this a try, because you don't have to be perfect, and there isn't a right or wrong, and whatever you do is what you do. I always say that. So have fun with your wire. Like, give it a try. So as always, there will be links in the description box to Didi Beads. I am filming ahead of the release of the box, so by the time you watch this video, I do not know if there will be any left in stock on Didi Beads, but there are links in the description box underneath my video to Didi Beads, and I have a discount code if you're a new first-time customer. And one of the things that Stella does is puts box extras on her website after a box sells out. So there may be more, I don't know what's there, but there may be more of the lampwork beads or some of the items in the box if you would like to, just get some of the extras from the box. So I will put those links. My discount code only works for new customers and not on every single thing on the website, because some of her things are quite discounted already. So check my description box for tools. The lobster claw that I used one in the first bracelet as well in the first video. And I thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody is enjoying the winding down of summer, and that going back to school in your family has not been too stressful. And I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao, everybody.